So today I'm with a mental health warrior, a psychology and counseling student at Daystar University, and an overall leader. At the leadership, jamani. Her name is Joy Kega, and she's joining us on my side of the story to share her personal. You get to know her on a personal level. Sawa, okay? So I'm joined by her. She's on my left, and as you can see, I have a very beautiful, amazing lady.
And I the same on my right. But hello, everyone. My name is Joy Kega Mutua.
Yes.
I'm a student of psychology and counseling, as well as taking a minor in public relations in Daystar University. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
So you're doing 2 courses?
I'm doing a major and a minor. Yeah.
Please make people understand. Unajua kuna watu ambao walisomea Karumandira huko
Kariandusi.
hawajui like major and minor is what.
Okay, so a major is technically what I'm focusing on. That's what brought me to Daystar. But in Daystar we have co-electives. We have elective units, so you can pick different fields, but I chose to concentrate on public relations, my electives. So when my degree comes out, I will have a degree in psychology and counseling, but I would be somewhat competent in the field of public relations. Yes.
So that means you are also leaning towards a bit of journalism and whatnot, media.
Yes, being able to relate with the masses, being able to even just sit here and relate with you and the people behind the camera, and just to be competent in that field.
That's great. Tell us a bit about yourself, your family, where you grew up.
Oh, wow. I am the third born of 4 children. So I'm the last girl of 3 girls, and then the last one is a boy. You can imagine having a last born brother that is an only boy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love him so much. He's my friend, apart from being my brother.
Yeah.
But we had to grow into that one. But yeah, I have 2 very amazing older sisters, one of which is actually the current vice president of University of Nairobi, Purity Mutua. Shout out to you, my best friend. Yeah. We raised each other technically, and I feel like she's also played a part in the person that I am right now. And I have amazing parents, God-fearing, and they've literally trained me in the way of the Lord, that when I am old, I have not departed from it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's amazing to hear that you have supportive parents. Basically, you have a really good support system.
Amazing at that.
And let me tell you something that I've realized. A lot of people have not grown up in a very sane homestead. If you'd like to just shed light on that, what is it like growing up in a very healthy and sane homestead?
Okay, I think first of all to note that most families have their issues here and there, and that's family.
Yes.
That's life. That's everyone's background. None has a picture perfect family.
True.
Maybe even if you do have a picture perfect family, behind the tent things are not always as it seems.
Of course.
So I think being in a family that I can say works for me, especially, is the fact that in all things I have been taught and I have seen and I've grown up in a family where both my mother and father put God first. And for them work could come and go, jobs could end, people could get sick, people pass away. But at the end of it all, turning back to the one that gives you breath and constantly acknowledging the power that he has in your life, that's been like the thing that has kept all of us together. Because I could say in my family, we're all one way or another, each one of us is having a relationship of walking towards Christ, from the firstborn to the lastborn. And navigating that apart from our parents, they have really helped us. We have Bible study every night.
Wow.
Every single night we have devotion. And I feel like it's very grounding. It builds character. It builds habits that even when you go and start your own family, you're willing to continue something that will go on and go on and go on. And you'd understand the importance, apart from the fact that dhambi ni mbaya, sin is bad. But I think just coming to know God for yourself, and
Mm.
also it helps shape your relationships. It helps shape, your personality.
Mm.
It helps shape, the person you are
Yeah.
generally in
Yeah.
society.
Mm.
And I could say that, yeah, we stand as a family because both my parents are on their knees.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's powerful, huh? You stand as a family because both parents are on their knees. That's amazing. And just to touch on a bit of you growing up, maybe school life. How was school for you?
School was school. I believe, okay, since the first day I joined school,
Mm.
I was the only child that did not cry. I was
Ooh.
excited to go to school.
Yeah, it was very dramatic. I cried even throughout the whole day. Nakwambia nililia.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. But I remember joining school and I was so excited because I was like, wow, new friends, learning, just I was Mjuaji also. I was a professional yapper in primary, even when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And also having my sister work with me, the one who's currently the deputy, the vice president, and we worked together a journey for so many years in school. So I always felt like I knew what the next step would be because she had already gone ahead of me.
Yeah.
And we technically just raised one another. I remember that first day of school. I went to school. I was so excited because I'm going to PTT school. Her name is Purity. I mean, I was going to PTT school. So if I'm going to her school, then everything is okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I remember even there was a time one of the teachers was punishing her, and she moved because it was like a house setting, the kindergarten. She left. She left her class to come to me to report that her teacher has beaten her. And I remember that time I just held her hand and I went to the teacher. I was like, "Why are you beating my sister? Why are you beating my sister?" And I feel like that has come from, I think now that somewhat shapes the person I am. I hate injustice. I hate seeing people being fingerly. I hate, technically I was supposed to do law. Yeah, I was supposed to do law, but I felt like I was not yet there yet. But my parents are still always looking at me like, we're waiting for you to pull that. I think I'm in the right space in terms of being friends with someone like Tanui. But yeah. So I believe it really shaped me in primary. Now I could say I moved to school for the first time. It was hard to navigate, but God helped me through it. Joined high school. Should I say which school I went to?
Yes, please tell us. We would like to know.
I feel like the people who knew me then and they see me now, I don't think they could at all like envision this is where I'm supposed to be. Girl. So I went to Kianda school. That's on Waiakiri.
Wow. I should not even say mine. Okay.
Yeah, I went to Kianda school for the whole 4 years. I remember my sister was also there. So I could say I've always had someone go ahead of me, but I think I'm also one to love to carve my own path. I don't like being fixed in a box. So I went to Kianda. Kianda was Kianda. Honestly, I don't know. I love the fact that it's a good school. I was taken. It was a privilege to be in that school.
Yeah. Is it a day school?
Yes, it's a day school.
Okay.
So I was in and out of home every day. So yeah, kuchungwa tulichungwa. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sasa wengine tuliambiwa sasa, I'll see you after 4 years.
Mnatupa huko.
Somewhere in Limuru.
Hata hawataki kujua kama unarudi nyumbani ama unarudi.
Then you're just whistling in your cup.
Hey, God is good. God is. Hey, look who you are now. But yeah, I think high school was very instrumental for me, and I begin to come to know who exactly I am, especially in the closing chapters of high school. I could say it was really hard for me. I struggled a lot with my mental health in the last years of school, but I could say it's helped me become the person I am because I can say, hey, what doesn't kill you
makes you stronger.
Indeed, and it does. And that's literally the story of my life. I believe, as I said, the people who saw me in high school and the people seeing me now, I can say, hey, day and night.
Day and night.
Hey, bro, the glow up has been.
It's very different.
Hey, Hey.
It gets better with time.
Exactly.
It
And I
always
could
gets
say
better with time.
we're not done.
Mm.
We're not done. We're
Exactly.
gonna make it bigger and better. I can
Yeah.
say, yeah, you know.
I know.
You know.
Trust me,
She
I know.
knows.
And what's the main reason that you were struggling? Like, what was that one main reason that you were struggling with mental health? What was the issue?
I could say at that point in time I was just sad. At that point, I'd love to bring a spiritual aspect to it, but I could feel like as though it was an attack. I was constantly in a darkness. There was a cloud hovering about me, and yeah, there was just so much heaviness in those years. I feel like also school stress made it a bit worse.
Yeah.
I was also somewhat unwell. I had a chronic illness at the time. It's fibromyalgia. I had that. So it really made the quality of my schooling really bad. But post that, I could say after getting help, because at the time I was diagnosed with MDD, which is major depressive disorder, as well as bipolar. But I could say I think those are the extremes. I can't say that I'm the same person, or as well as ADHD. Ilikuwa vitu mingi.
Ilikuwa that serious.
Ilikuwa vitu mingi, but I can say I don't take medication. I'm okay. God has been faithful. I had a full 360. But yeah, I could say it shaped a lot of the decisions I made moving past that, and has shaped a lot of the things that I look into and I'm interested in. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you a question. When you were diagnosed with all these things,
Mhm.
was it a school support system that were also able to figure out this, or it was outside school?
This was apart from school. So this was my family, my really close friends, like my literal circle. They helped me navigate that because I had to take a break from school. I was not doing well. I had very many suicidal ideations, and I was just not in a good place
And they
mentally.
usually say suicide is very spiritual.
That is true. And I believe that because I could see that darkness when I now came out of it. It wasn't by my own strength. It wasn't because I went for therapy only. It wasn't because I went and got medication, not because I saw a psychiatrist, but it was because at that moment I gave my life to Christ. And when I did that, I literally saw so much happening. I mean, it was a gradual process, but I would read my Bible, and I was intentional with coming to know who this Christ is. That they say, hey, he takes away all the burdens that you have, and he gives you his, and his is lighter. And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't want a burden. But yeah, but even just navigating, looking to have a relationship with Christ apart from your parents. Because you could see your mother and she's telling you testimony after testimony. She's telling you everything about herself and how she came to know Christ herself. And you're just like, but I've known him forever. And I feel like it's just mundane. Like, I don't know. And then now him coming and wiping that idea in my head and then showing me that he's different for each person. Like, he caters for each and every one of your needs, because maybe your problem is not mine.
True. We are all reading from different scripts.
Exactly. And just because he sorted your problem doesn't mean he can sort mine. And I think my mental health journey is honestly the thing that has rooted me in Christ. I could say there are moments when you experience the winds and waves of life, but you stand firm in the thought that truly Christ has your back. And friends come and go, family goes literally, and things happen, but the only comfort that we could get is from the one who is the God of all mercies and the Father of all comfort. That literally is what he calls himself in his word. So yeah, I could talk a lot about this mental health and coming to Christ thing, but I could say, that's literally what I endured.
That's great. And apart from you going through all that, I'm glad to hear that you've had a really, really good support system even in your high school. Unajua mimi kwanza nilienda shule ingine hapo inaitwa Mudhurwa Girls. Sasa mtu alikuwa anafikiria ati ile Mudhurwa ya tao.
Oh, no.
I used to find it so insulting.
Which Muduro is this one?
It's in Kiambu County. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was raised in Kiambu.
For
So I
real?
can't.
In Banana, somewhere in
Yeah,
Banana.
Bano. I was raised
In
in
Bano, yeah.
Mushada.
Mushada.
And
So
then
maybe you know
Bano.
Mudurwa?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people used to say, ile niko pale town. Nashangaa you guys.
Hamjui Mudhura ingine.
Mumenibeba ndogo hivyo. And where is that school in Mudurwa market?
Yeah.
Surely, guys. Hapo hivyo ni bus station ya kwenda Busia. Hiyo ni bus station ya kwenda Busia.
Guys, that's where I was born and raised. Those are my ends. Yeah, but now I'm proper Buntau.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Even me, but you know, grow up in the city. Because I nearly grow up in Bungoma.
Yeah.
Yes, like
I
proper
wouldn't.
Ushago.
Can you speak that Kiluya?
No, I'm a Cuk.
Oh.
Yeah, my dad was working at Mumia's Sugar, so I had to move. We had to move
And
with him.
Something about Kikuyus and I love, you guys we like so easily adaptable.
Yes.
Like you could find a Kikuyu in Lamu. How? What
exactly.
are you doing in Lamu?
Or you find a Kikuyu in Lamu who is making Swahili food. Okay,
Yeah.
Like, Jerry, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Gadosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who has been your biggest influence on a positive level when it comes to you as Joy Kega?
My biggest influence, honestly, I could say apart from Christ, because he's the OG. Apart from Christ, I could say my sister. When I say my sister is an influence in my life, I mean it got to a point when my children, she was like, "Why are you always copying me? Why are you always copying me?" But it's not that I'm copying; I'm admiring. Mimicking someone is the highest level of flattery. Yeah. So you should listen to that, by the way. I'm talking to you direct. But yeah, I believe she's shaped a lot of the perceptions that I have concerning life and how to navigate stuff. And she was one of the biggest introverts I knew growing up. But right now, as a whole vice president, I'm like, how? And I think it's just that aspect of adaptability and being able to grow yourself and to be able to, push yourself and try new things and enter new spaces, because she's very admirable, I would say. Yeah.
And what are some of the values that guide you as Kega?
Some of the values that guide me are, first of all, integrity. Integrity, being honest, being transparent, and just being able to stand on your word and to be able for it to be solid. Yeah, that, as well as I believe just general care, compassion. You never know what the next person is going through. You never know what someone is enduring on their day to day. Just extend grace.
True.
Yeah.
True.
You never really know what the next person is living through.
Yeah,
and you could be their 13th reason, unfortunately. So what little kindness could it cost for you to smile at someone, call someone, do something small for them? And we're in the season of love, I could say. We are filming this the day after Valentine's Day.
How was your Valentine's Day, baby?
It was wholesome. I could say nothing much went down, but I could say the ones that I know love me and I love back, they showed up one way or another. Yeah,
that's awesome. There's somebody I saw online who was crying for flowers.
Crying for flowers? Tanui would have got you, by the way.
By the way, Tanui would have been a very good solution.
Yeah, just go and follow him on Instagram. You'd see what we're saying.
He gives free flowers, guys.
Gives free flowers.
Yeah. And how has your journey been at Daystar University so far?
I can say it's been the best institution I've gone through. I had seasons where I felt alone, maybe seasons where I've been experiencing challenges and you can't really know what to do. But I believe they care so much for who you are and your challenges they carry as your own. Currently, I'm treasurer of the Daystar Christian Fellowship, and for me, that's not just a title, because you can receive money here and there, but for me, I view it as a chance to be able to connect with more people. It's a broader space for you to meet more people, for you to change more lives. But in terms of having that space, I could say that Daystar has been a space that has shaped me, a space that has uplifted me, even in seasons where I couldn't uplift myself. For example, there was a time I had challenges with my school fees, and I was so stranded. I didn't know what to do, and I had to take a break. And I was still serving in school. I'd still come to school. They'd see me around here and there, but I think it hit them that wow, pia badi anaweza kosa fees.
It is very normal to happen.
Yeah, and it's very relatable, and it also helped me come forward and be like, okay, this is actually something I'm living through, and it shouldn't create shame, but it should be a chance for those who can help to help. And I remember a very instrumental person in DCF. We know and love him. His name is Felix Simoto. He helped me walk the journey of attaining a scholarship.
Oh, nice.
And currently I'm on 80% scholarship. It's amazing. It enabled me to also pick my minor in PR. And I could say serving made that process easier for me as well. Because they could say, wow, she actually has character, she has merit, she's doing stuff, she's actually beneficial to our school. And it gives someone more grounds to be able to apply and actually attain it faster than someone who just go to school to go home, go to school, go home. And I don't take it for granted. It's a privilege to be able to go to a school, a private school, and attain a scholarship that would cater for a very large percentage of the school fees, by the way. And it's also possible. So wherever you can, as a student, plug in. Someone is always watching, someone is always listening, someone is always there. And whenever you get the chance, never, something my friend says, closed mouths don't get fed. You need to speak out on what you're experiencing, and then you'll get the help that you actually require. And I would love to see a Daystar that has more money. And in the heart of the vice chancellor, it's the same thing. That we have more pool of funds, a bigger pool of funds for scholarships, and for more people who are unable to complete. Because I started Daystar, everything was going well, but life happens and money goes. And comes back as well. But just them being able to hold me, I think I'm indebted to the school. I could say my first salary narusha Daystar. Nairobi ni kutricky.
Unapeana hata kama ni 10%.
Yeah, that's true, as a tithe. And an offering.
Of course, that's great. And do you think what you went through in high school and what you're doing right now is somehow connected?
They are absolutely related. Absolutely.
That's what I gathered. That's why I'm actually asking.
They are completely related. And what I experienced with my mental health in high school, I could say, is first of all what inspired me to do psychology. As I said, I was called for law in a different institution. But I think God had other plans. I was so frustrated with groups. Oh, God bless that farm. that institution in itself. Lord, help those people who are experiencing issues with groups. I was having a hard time applying to a school. And I remember seeing Daystar. And it was like a bright light shone on that name. And I saw the thing that they were offering was psychology and counseling. And I was like, oh, so you offer sikufika class hapo and so. But I went to the school itself. My mom in faith held my hand and said, even if the fees is from here to Timbuktu,
we have to go and
let's just go by faith and see what Daystar has to offer. And I registered. I gained admission at the time, and orientation came, and we overcame the hurdle of getting the initial fee. And I remember during that season, I was on a fast, and I was seeking the face of the Lord at the time, and I was trying my best to understand, first of all, is this what He wants for me? Because it's a big deal, it's a mountain. And the second thing was, is this where I've been called? Is this what I've been called to do? Is this where He wants me to be? And I remember I got a confirmation, and it's like psychology for me was a calling. It's not a course. It's not something that I've been called to do just to attain a certain level of education.
Yes.
I could have done something else. I had the option. But I believe that psychology was or is the tool that God has given me so that I can reach people and be a light to those who are experiencing the same darkness I experienced, and be a helper of people, and to listen to people, and for them to hear me out as well. And also for that space, not just to be a space where people are experiencing healing, but people are also coming to experience Christ. I mean, coming to the following years in my studies, um, I've started trying to understand myself here and there. Sometimes I do some peer counseling, but I could say I might go into understanding mind and behavior for the masses. I think that's why I was guided into public relations, so that you touch more lives in terms of the public, and working with corporations, working with people who have like-mindedness into seeing something that's a visionary based agenda.
Yeah.
I love the idea of touching a lot of lives. I understand it takes one life at a time, but you can expedite that a little bit.
Very true.
Yeah,
Expeditiously.
efficiency, yeah, and goal oriented thinking, yeah, leads to that.
Of course.
Yeah.
And what have been some of your proudest moments in campus?
Oh my God! First of all, getting that scholarship, so proud, so proud, and also becoming now an executive member of the Christian Fellowship, very proud. And I could say apart from that is just my grades. I think every semester that I actually register and I go do exams, finish, and the grades come back.
Yeah.
It's a reflective moment for me, and I get to realize, oh, what you actually work on, like it happens to result into something else. And a whole semester could be summed into a few letters, A, B, C, D, and E. But every semester that I finish and I finish strong. Very few times when I can say my GPA disappointed me. But yeah, I think the scholarship, the DCF treasure thing, and now my grades all the time.
That's great. And how has psychology helped you see life differently?
Let me tell you, it really shapes your worldview. You become more empathetic. You become more attuned to what people are experiencing, more attuned to what people are living through. I think it creates more sympathy and empathy. You begin to live in a way that it's like you're living in other people's shoes. You see things more clearly also. Like, let's say in times of conflict, I could say psychology helps me understand people better. I could say it's harder for me now to pick sides. Even like when we're having conversations concerning politics or even my relationship or anything, like you're like, okay, that's based on how maybe when they were children in their background, 1, 2, and the third happened, and maybe now this is how they cope. Or this is how they navigate. Yeah, this is how they behave. Because I think most people think psychology is being able to be telepathic. You can read people's minds. Because every time I tell people I study psychology, they're like,
Can you read
"Can you read my mind?" I'm like, no. You have to give me stuff to work on.
Yeah.
And for me, psychology is truly the study of mind and behavior, and it helps me understand people better. I enter spaces and I'm like, I'm reading people, I'm psychoanalyzing on, but I don't want to.
I'm psychoanalyzing.
You're not giving me enough. I think for most things, as I said, you have to give me something to work with.
Yeah.
I can't just like start like this.
And what's that one thing that usually that gives you that base of understanding? Okay, this is how they are. What is that one thing?
I think sometimes it's what people say, and also what people do. Like when people say actions speak louder than words, they actually do. And I could say, let's say, you were talking about something, or maybe I compliment you. I'm like, oh my god, I love your glasses, and then how you react to that compliment does not reflect someone who's secure. Yeah.
Okay.
So like you're like,
thank you.
There's a thank you. And then there's like no, this, and even remove them. You're like they're drawing attention to yourself.
And you know me, I wear glasses because I'm shy. I'm so shy.
Yeah.
Like I don't like.
Like for you, they're like a mask. Yeah.
I don't like it when people look at me directly.
But but they're actually really good.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think it's just a lot on how people react to certain situations.
Yeah.
Maybe something happens in conflict and someone starts cussing you out, or someone walks away, and you know that could show maybe someone's ability to handle conflict is near nil. And yeah, it literally in everyday living, someone can easily let loose on some of their background issues.
Yeah.
It seeps through how you talk, how you act, how you present yourself, and yeah. So it's endless, literally.
Yeah. Can I give you a brief of mine? Amma, what do you want me to say?
I'd love you to, and I'd try.
Okay. So what do I tell you?
This is pro bono, by the way.
Okay. Which part do you want to know, so that at least you can come up with a meaning?
Like, okay, I'd love to know. Okay, this is very personal. Now, this is why psychology and like therapy is behind closed doors, and there's confidentiality to be signed.
But now, at least people will see, hey, this one is a very professional psychologist. I will definitely be seeing her for myself.
Okay. I'll get everything in place. But I would ask you, like, how was like the setup you had at home?
The setup I had at home?
Yeah.
My dad died. My mom left us, and then my dad died. And then we came to Nairobi. We were being raised by relatives. But it was very, very chaotic. I don't think a day would pass by without crying because of things you're being accused of, you've done. Staying with relatives is very hard. And yeah, it was somewhat exhausting. And I got into this space where I'm very, how can I say, like aloof of things. Like things might happen and I'm just like, oh, okay, fine. My brother was chased away. Me, I was chased away as well at 17. And not at 17, yeah, at 17, I guess, yeah. And then what else? Yeah, I stay alone. Okay, currently I stay alone. Not that I'm alone, I stay alone.
There's a difference.
Yeah, there's a very big difference.
Yeah.
I stay alone, and I struggle so hard to think about the fact that one day, what happens if I don't have money to pay my rent? Who am I going back to? Yeah. And I think personally, I really immerse myself in work so that I can break the cycle of poverty.
Yeah.
I think my family can have a better life. Okay. Yeah. I think that's who I am in general, I guess. And I'm very, very unserious. I'm so clumsy. I know that one. That one I know. Personally, I've been proved that I'm clumsy. And I've proven it to myself. I know I'm clumsy. I'm trying to change. Yeah. And I don't take things too seriously. You might say something that's very offensive to me, but I might just brush it off like I don't care. And I don't know why I do that. Or sometimes we might have a serious conversation and I'm very, very, I don't take it very seriously. I've heard you, but I'm not taking it seriously. Yeah. So that's a summary.
I think I'd ask you one more question. Like, how does that shape your relationships? Like how
my relationships with people.
yeah.
I think I like maintaining peace. I don't like I don't like hakuna kitu nachukia kama makesi. Kega, I hate cases. Like mi kunaweza kuwa na kesi kwa hii room, I would walk away. Sipendi kesi. Like I don't like cases. Kwanza ku explain how this happened, I don't. So I try avoid conflict so that I avoid those cases. You see. And it helps me keep the peace. And I think there's a upper side of that, because sometimes when I'm fed up, I just lash out on people because now I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm tired. I cannot take this bullshit anymore. Yeah, but for the most part, like 70% of me, I don't like conflicts. And even the relationships I have, I'm very picky with my relationships. Very, very picky. Especially if I sense trouble or I sense this is not going to end well, I just avoid it as early as possible. Yeah.
You've used the word avoid so many times when you're explaining. Would you say that you have an avoidant attachment style? Like, let's say, for example, you have secure attachment style. You have now the insecures, avoidant, anxious, and
especially my anxiety through the roof. I would even go to the toilet like 10 times.
So, like, for example, let's say you were in a friendship. Are you the type of friend to call every day or to ignore the calls?
I'd call every day, but also I would avoid calling so much because I don't know what you're up to. So I respect your space. Yeah.
You feel like you had issues with abandonment?
A lot of the time. So sometimes I just stay alone because I'm already used to it.
Being alone.
Yeah.
I think now that would take a lot more unpacking that we don't want to do on camera. But I feel like that those themes come quite clearly based off what you said. Like how you literally started with my mom left us, my dad died. Yeah, that's very heavy to even start with. And you said you joke about serious things.
Yeah, I really joke about serious
you heard how she said it, right? Ain't no way someone's gonna come here and be like, yo, my mom left us when we were little and my dad just decided to leave from this universe. So and you can tell like she's a very bubbly person, and I feel like you use a lot of that bubbliness to cover a lot of things.
I think that's what I do a lot. Yeah. Now you see, guys. Ashawambia. At least even me, I've discovered something about myself today.
So akicheka mcheke.
Exactly.
It helps.
Yeah. I might be crying and I'm even laughing or I'm even joking about those situations.
Yeah.
Because I don't like serious stuff. Like, yes, we're in business or we're doing something, but
I think it also comes from a point where you've experienced a lot of seriousness.
Like
everything has to be serious. From the point where you're seeing Casey from your mom, Casey from your father, that whole process, and then now your siblings and everything, and living with your relatives, and it's always a case.
It's so serious.
Exactly, and you do not want that.
Now, can I tell you something? There's a time I walked into an accountant's office, one of the bodies that deal with accountants, and these kids were so serious. Where can I place this? Where can I place this? I'm like, guys, does corporate life have to be this serious?
It's never that deep. I feel like that's why I wouldn't go the corporate way. Like, it's never that serious.
Thank you. Because personally, I like doing things my own way. When people say we are going right, I'm going left.
Yeah. I feel like even like this is just a side note, but like you see how people start meetings or they're addressing people, and then they list all the protocols. I'm like, you didn't have this 10 years ago. You didn't have this title. You didn't have all that. And I feel like people tie so much to their personality that it makes them lose sense of who they are.
And then I'm that kind of person. As much as you're serious and you're talking about serious stuff, I like watching how you act towards those things, because we can say so much, but we can do very little.
That is true.
Yeah. So as we wrap up, looking at your leadership and vision, who do you look up to as a leader and why?
My God, I will mention my sister so many times. I believe she's fought for the student affairs with so much grace. I remember there was a time they were having issues with, they still have, they are having issues with accommodation, student accommodation, and I remember the school management was against them, and everything was like they were on the losing end. But I remember she used to wake up in the morning. She'd go into the PS's office and she would just sit with a group of 5, 6, 7 people. They just sit down. And these are people who, if you're a leader, or rather, if you're a student and you see your leader is all the way up there in your vertical form of leadership, you'll be like, sasa huyu ako hapa na tutalala hapa, like literally we'll sleep here, and we'll, like, it's a riot. We are trying to, we're trying to fight for student affairs. We're trying to make sure that people have affordable and well-maintained student housing. And I remember she spent the night there, and it was actually so crazy. I remember my parents at the time were like, sasa wewe umeenda kuvurugusha like the government. And I feel like sometimes she really inspires me because she is so genuine with what she does. And if it's the affairs of a student that she's carrying to the relevant people, she'll make sure it gets there. And she will not compromise because of, kitu kidogo. My sister, for whoever thinks she has taken any money from the UNSA government, she hasn't. She has the same phone that she entered with, and it's barely functional. She's been so integral with the way she runs herself. And that could bring conflict because there are people who have different agendas. But I could say she is an honest and she is an admirable leader. She always requires for herself to ensure that if all things are laid flat and open to each and every person, then she'd be proud of what's being looked at. And I think that's something to admire, and I really wish to mimic that in the positions that I am in and the ones that I'm looking to join.
And you're also a student leader. And currently you're running for a position with your running mate, Matthew Stanui. How is that for you? Briefly describe how that is for you, and what is that one thing you look forward to as a leader to change in terms of maybe mental health, leadership, women who are going through stuff. There are women out here who are going through a lot, especially in the institutions, and they really don't talk about it.
Yeah. I could say I'm really looking forward to work hand in hand with my lovely team, headed by Matthew Stanui, who's vying for presidency as his deputy. And what I look forward to changing, or rather enforcing, is a stronger student association. And that could translate to having, the student affairs met with urgency. We have so many issues in our school. I remember someone was telling me, and I wouldn't want to put them on the limelight, but someone told me that Daystar seems like a pseudo-private institution. And that could reflect in how Daystar has a lot of public university problems in terms of food, housing, security.
Lakini kuna yenye niliona ingine hapo kwa internet ya university, the where they sleep, where they shower, it's bad.
There are people who in our very private university, they literally in someone else's room, they'll sleep in the corner. And it's really sad, and they wouldn't know where the next meal is coming from. Just enabling. Now, for me, I look forward to, first of all, creating a space for such people to be open about the challenges they're going through. As I said, closed mouths don't get fed. But again, if someone comes with their issues and they front them to you and you shut them down time and again, of course they'll shut down. And they just have to live the way they have to, and they have to survive. There's a lot of problems that go on in our school. For example, I remember there was a time the VC was sharing how there was a student who was sleeping with someone just for food. And that is a problem that our school faces. And I imagine that's just one person that came out and spoke about it. And for me, I look forward to seeing that most, if not all, those problems are streamlined. that there's quality in living as a student in Daystar, especially in Athi River and even in Nairobi. I know there's people who struggle with food issues, and I know the Christian Fellowship has created Docas Pantry, which is it's a pantry for people who don't have food. So people give out an offering, and now the Christian Fellowship goes and buys food and now stocks the pantry, and anyone who needs food comes and takes. But I feel like there's so much more that needs to be done. There are people who, apart from that, maybe they don't have enough transport. They have to come to school every day. You can't miss classes just because you don't have that 300 bob to come from God knows where. But there are people who don't have, basic facilities, and some of them they don't know how to cope with those things, and now that forces people to, have the same things that we experienced when we were younger, suicidal ideations. I know in our school there was a season when there was a lot of deaths by suicide, and I remember as a worship team leader having to do memorial week after week for people who are dying.
And this is matters on mental health.
Exactly, and this touches on where I hold most passion to. So I think I'd love to see a strengthened DC3. That is our Daystar Care and Compassion Center. And that is the student body that caters for the students' mental health. But even apart from that, seeing that the needs and the rights of students in this are met. And we understand that our school is a company. We understand that our school is a money-making business, but these are people's lives we are dealing with here. And their needs should be of our utmost importance because they're affiliated to us. It just gives us a bad look.
That's great. Wow, I'm so sorry about that. But I'm happy to see that you are actually fighting for a vision that will benefit everyone.
And I pray that everything that we're doing materializes, and that even as we enter there, that God keeps us fixated on our focal point, which is the goal that we have set. But in terms of mental health, I would love to see a strengthened body that actually upholds these issues, because drug use in our school is rampant. I remember there was a memo released not so long ago about drug use in our school, and we need more people who are goal oriented, and they have a lot to offer the school, and that even as we bring forth our issues, they're not shut down on site by fellow students and by people who just they don't carry the vision of this.
And what is that one thing that you would like to be remembered by with your peers?
I believe one thing that I would wish and pray that people remember me by is that I brought about excellence, transformation, and servant leadership wherever I went. That in everything that I do, I'm excellent, and in everything that I see through, that it's given the utmost attention to detail, and the things I do and the things that I promise to do bring about transformation in people's lives, that people can say truly she touched lives. Maybe not everyone's, but substantially, and that my leadership and the way I live out my life reflects servant leadership.
Amazing. That's awesome. Wow. Those are deep words, my friend. We tulikuwa tuna joke kidogo kidogo, tena tumekuwa serious.
Ni life.
Ni life, yeah. But thank you so much for coming through. I really wish you well with Tanui, your running mate. I know you guys are going to do amazing stuff. Nilimwambia tutakuja kwanza kudocument, tuone kama mmekuwa mkifanya kazi.
Tupigie kelele kidogo.
Tutakuja tuwapigie kelele kidogo.
Yeah, but thank you very much for having me, Cookie.
Thank you.
I would love to come back again and again.
Please do come back again and
progress
again.
Reports.
Yes.
Ndio sasa.
Bas. Ndio. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming through. Guys, this has been my side of the story. Kama kawaida, you find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok as My Side of the Story Pod. Don't forget to follow us, like, comment, and share. Pale YouTube, tafadhali, leave a comment. You know, if you want to look for Kega, look for her. Utaacha nini yako, handle
On
yako.
Instagram, I am joy_Kega. That is all.
That
I
is
don't
all.
have
Hauko
more social
kwingine?
media. Miss ko TikTok,
Why?
ko Twitter.
Why?
Maybe I'll look into that, but as of now, joy_Kega on Instagram.
You know the way TikTok is so good for doom scrolling. If you just want to just
No, you
pass
know,
time.
I know that. I know that.
Yeah.
I have a lot going on. Time.
Yeah, I can